So lockdown's still in full swing. You missing GREGGS? Nah, me either. But let's make a giant version of one of their most iconic menu items anyway. Alright, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of fast food chains seem to be sharing recipes for how you can create some of their most loved items at home while we're all on lockdown. And a few days ago I noticed one from GREGGS that went viral, as the kids say these days, and it showed how to make their sausage and bean melt. So I decided to make a giant version. Now on a side note, Mrs. Beard's not here today. She's actually, believe it or not, she's a key worker. It's a scary thought. She's been fortunate enough to be able to work at home for the past, I don't know, 2 months. But today she's had to go into the office, meaning two things. First of all, she's not here to help me create a really intense cinematic B-roll sequence while we make the whole thing. And second, which is actually a pro, it means I'm gonna be cooking it, so at least it's not gonna taste terrible. Mrs. Beard would love this. Slicing up sausages, creative visualization. Can you put baking paper in the oven?
Baking paper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Whoa, no! Motherfucker! Well, that's ruined. Alright, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a new t-shirt. That is in fact because it's a new day. So yesterday when I put the sausage and bean melt in the oven, it split, the fillings just fell out, almost wrecked the oven. I had to clean it all, believe it or not. But it's alright. I'm not a quitter. Today's a new day. So I'm not gonna put you through the whole cooking process all over again. Here's one I made earlier. Alright, here's one Mrs. Beard made earlier. You happy?
Thank you. Mrs. Beard to the rescue. Again.
Fair enough.
Alright, here we go. It's taken 2 days of cooking to get to this point, so I really don't want to mess it up. But I'm doing this to show you just how big it is, because I've noticed a few people recently commenting, saying, oh, it's all just a trick of the camera or it's some special lens. It's just a Canon 16-35mm L lens. There's nothing enchanted about it. But anyway, we got the sausage, cheese and bean melt ready. The calorie count on this thing is mental. So we used 1500 grams of puff pastry sheets, 600 grams of medium cheddar cheese, 4 cans of like a sausage and bean mix from Heinz. I have no idea why it exists, but it does. And 2 additional cans of hot dog sausages, because you can never have too many sausages.
I knew you were going to say that.
Anyway, without further ado, this is BeardMeatsFood, and this is the biggest sausage, cheese, bean, GREGGS melt thing ever eaten. Assuming I can eat it. Who's gonna? Alright, I'll start the time just for fun. I'll put the calorie count on the screen once I figure it out. I'm pretty sure it's way over 10,000 calories. But let's get stuck in. I would have taken it out of the tray.
What's up, Beard Army? Welcome back. That was a loud one. Unnecessarily loud. Anyway, I just paused the commentary there for a second so you can enjoy the delicate, crispy sound of me breaking into the giant sausage and bean melt that we made. And when I say we, of course, I don't mean me.
I would have taken it out of the tray, but I think part of this crust is actually stuck to the tray we cooked it on.
Ooh, there's that we again. Hopefully Mrs. Beard does not watch. She'll be thinking I'm trying to take credit for her creation. But yeah, this was an article. I think it was on Lab Bible originally, and tons of people sent this to me, which was a little bit of a surprise because I'm not the most zealous GREGGS fan. But I'm glad everyone did, because it turned out pretty flipping banging, even if it did it did take 2 attempts to actually cook the thing. It turned out pretty good in the end.
I'm gonna try to eat it in such a way that you can actually see inside it at some point.
Yeah, I thought we'd attack this thing in kind of like an L shape. So I'd eat some of the front so you could, you know, see the filling. Because, I mean, you could take or leave the pastry. Everyone likes pastry, but the real magic is in the filling with the sausage and bean melt.
Still pretty hot in the middle.
Yeah, probably in no small part because I'm eating it, as you can see, out of the baking tray. Because it crumbled the first time I tried to cook it. I didn't want it to happen a second time.
And when you get a really cheesy piece, it tastes identical to a GREGGS sausage, bean, cheese melt thing.
You don't say. What else would it taste like, you Doylem?
Admittedly, it's probably not the most pleasant thing to watch because it's just total carnage.
Yeah, although that's par for the course with almost every one of my videos. Although, puff pastry does present quite a unique challenge, as you can no doubt see.
I'm gonna use a spoon.
Yeah, getting stuck in there with the spoon. I mean, I say this a lot, but I think I have to be the first person to ever eat a sausage, bean, and cheese melt from GREGGS or otherwise with a spoon. But it came in pretty handy. I've got to say big props as well to Mrs. Beard for helping out with this. Normally, I have to say I am the better cook of the two, but she's a bit more level-headed, so I needed her assistance, which I think really is poetic justice after I poked fun at her at the beginning, saying that stuff she normally cooks tastes bad. She came through. What can I say?
This is gonna take at least 3 beard washes to fully eradicate all the flakes of pastry and sausage and stuff. 15 minutes.
That was an interesting sound effect. I think I'm about to find a hair in this thing now. Oh, there it is.
I can't blame anyone else.
Yeah, not that I would do that anyway. That happens all the time. Doesn't even really bother me, you know, when you get a little bit of hair in your food. I've done plenty of restaurant challenges and stuff like that where I've had to pick out a little bit of hair that might not necessarily be mine. I have a reasonably robust immune system. No big deal. In fact, right now, with lockdown on, I'd kill to get out and eat some food with hair in it at a restaurant.
I might need you to help me with the crust on the side. Mrs. Beard is she's sunbathing again. She's one of those annoying English people that when the temperature goes above like 16 degrees, they start taking all their clothes off, head out into the garden, put factor 6 on and just sit there cooking all day.
Not that that's a universally English or indeed British trait. It does seem to be quite common where I live though. I guess that kind of magic number, like 16, 18 degrees here in Britain, and people just lose their minds. They're like, summer's here. Dudes start taking their tops off. They'll walk into convenience stores, petrol stations, totally shirtless. It's like, we get it, it's hot. It's just not that hot. Put on a tank top, a stringer, or just something. Nobody wants to see your naked torso.
Oh, nice. I was thinking it wouldn't come away from the baking tin and the parchment paper. I thought it would be like a fail by default because I thought it was I wasn't gonna be able to eat the parts attached to the paper, but it came away pretty well. No excuses now.
Come off it, man. I'll find an excuse somewhere if I don't finish this thing. You know me. It's what I do best.
This is all skew with.
How about that? Skew whiff. The first time I've said that for a long time. If you're wondering, that's slang for, like, wonky. Actually, wonky is slang. I should probably have just said not even, not level. That's what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, if you're one of those people mad enough to want to make this yourself at home, I'll put the recipe down below. It's actually very easy to make, and the payoff is worth it. This tasted fantastic. I cannot fault it one bit.
There isn't really any clean space left on the towel.
Yeah, I think at this point it was a challenge in itself just to find like 1 square inch of space on that towel that wasn't covered in, you know, bits of pastry and bean juice and stuff. But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed this. The only thing I would change, I think maybe in future, I would maybe add a little bit more cheese.
I did that just because it's getting really difficult now to eat all this debris without eating the baking paper too.
Yeah, you always got to be on the lookout for those hazards. I think Mrs. Beard's just about to pop in.
Oh, just in time, darling.
Yeah, she is. She's trying to get her hands on some leftover pastry. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Save me a bit.
Don't worry. I got the bits of debris that are under the lid. Well, you said that you wanted to try from the pastry, so
Can I?
yeah. I'm sure the viewers at home will let me off. I don't think that means it's null and void.
Good pastry.
It was actually really good when it was warm. Anyway. This is BeardMeatsFood, and that was the very long in the tooth to film, but actually very I got stuff in my beard. Very enjoyable to eat. Giant sausage, bean, and cheese melt from GREGGS, but you know, not from GREGGS.
From Mrs. Beard.
From Mrs. Beard's kitchen.
And the crowd goes wild!
Oh, 30 minutes as well. Not bad. Well, thanks for watching.
You're welcome.
I mean, even though this, not you were outside half the time sunbathing. Anyway, even though this took twice as long as usual to make, I'm having a lot of fun doing these giant homemade things. I say I'm having a lot of fun. That's mostly because I'm not really the one doing the cooking. You've seen what happens when I do the cooking. So if you want to see something else giant, put it in the comments, and I don't want to say we'll give it a shot. Lindsay try and make it. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
I'd like to see some giant, but you never go and deliver, man.